Hi everybody, Mr. Simmons again, coming at you live one more time from Rebel Bass for video 3 of the 3 video series on the McKinney ISD High School Bass Audition Pack. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it with Excerpt 8. Excerpt 8 is a B-flat major 2-octave scale. So you start off, the whole first octave of B-flat is pretty simple, all in half position here. 1 for B flat 4, open D, E flat, F, G, A natural, B. Okay, so remember when we're in B flat, we've got 2 flats. Everything else is natural, except we got B flats and E flats. Now, a couple things, like in order to play this scale, you have to go into thumb position. Thumb position is a really fun place to play if you're mechanically accurate in there. One of the major mistakes that people make when they go into thumb position is they treat this part of the bass like it's a load-bearing structure. They rest their hand here, and then they put their hand here. What that does is that cuts off all of our power. Now I'll turn around here so you can see what I'm doing. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. So when I'm here, I'm keeping everything straight. My arm is off the bass, and you see my wrist and elbow down to my hand is straight. What that allows me to do is use all the power from all my arm and all the weight to push down that note. Because technically, this part of the string is the easiest part of the string to push down because the least amount of tension is right here. So when I'm here, I've got my arm straight. Instead of right here, if I'm like this, see what happens is when I push a string, see how my entire arm moves like that? It's because I'm pushing on this tendon and stretching it, right? So we don't want to use the muscles in our fingers as much as we want to control things with our arm. So what I do is I bring my elbow forward into where I'm not touching, and my big knuckle here is right over the top of the string. Right? Okay, so with that aside, it's pretty simple. I'll just do really quick on the top octave. Sorry, let me get situated. There we go, and we're back. Okay, so first octave, nice and simple. 1, 4, open, 1, 4, open, 2, 4. All in half position. Now I'm going to go from 4 for the B flat to 1 for the C, 4 for D, 1 for E flat, 4 for F, thumb for G, 1, 2. And notice when I'm coming here again, I want to use as much of the strings as I can, so I bring my bow down here so I can get a good voice. Okay, so we want to be nice and smooth with it. Practice these scales when you're practicing them. Practice them slow. Like if I could go back and talk to myself when I was like 13, 14 years old and tell myself one thing, it would be practice your scales more, play more scales. As much as you think you're playing them, you should be playing them more, because what is music but just rearranged scales, right? Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and go through this scale, maybe do it twice for you. With the, you want to have your metronome set at 80. So let me see here, got it at 80, going to be here. All right, nice separate bows. Good tone. 3, 4. So it's really tempting when we're playing a scale, when we're playing something like this, to really want to show off our vibrato. Practicing your scales is not the time you want to show off your vibrato and make it like wallpaper behind everything. I would suggest that when you record something like this, that you don't use vibrato. That way, the listener knows that you know where the center of that tone is. Okay, so that was pretty quick on section 8, on number 8. So let's go to number 9. This song is a fun song. It's a Mendelssohn piece. It's called Das Hebrides. If that's how you say it, I don't know. I'm sorry. I've always known it as Fingal's Cave. This is a real part of the, there's a storm going on at this part. That you can hear the waves crashing. If you haven't listened to this song, I highly suggest that you do. This part takes place in about minute 8 towards the end of the whole thing. My teacher called this kind of bowing, he called it scrub-a-dub-a bowing, because what we're doing is we are just sawing the bass in half with our, because this is super loud Confuoco with, it's furious, it's not mad, it's more elemental. So you really want to just, you know, it's not super loud. No. Really heavy, under the hand type stuff. So in the first measure, we've basically got a broken up D major scale that what I'm doing is I'm going, then first finger for this up. So what I'm doing is I'm doing that first part is a D major scale, and then I'm going D, F sharp, first finger, open, 1, 4, 2, 4, 1. So this F sharp here. Now the next F sharp I'm going to do on the A string without moving. Use the open G here. Then I'm still right here, my first finger on the D string for this A. And so I can do that B, D. So in measure 3, my fingerings goes 4, 1, 4 on the D, G, D, and then going back to first finger for this G, second finger for the G sharp. You can go fourth finger for that A, and then go up to first finger on the D string for this B. That way, for the C sharp, so like that would be a good little section that would be nice to go super slow on. Like whenever you're learning pieces like this, something that you want to stay away from is the one to go right. You don't want to jump right into that. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go that slow, because the speed will come as soon as your left hand knows what it's doing. The speed will come, but give your left hand a chance to get there. Okay, and so when we're in measure 4, after we go 1, 4, 1, and then going back down to measure 5 for 4. So I end up with the first finger for that beat. And now for this next part, for these 16ths, the scrub-a-double bowings as I call them, I'm going 1. The pattern is A sharp, C sharp, B, C sharp, A sharp, C sharp, B, C sharp. So what I'm doing is, if you look here, I'm doing a pivot. See how I pivot back? I'm not actually moving my thumb and doing an entire shift. It's where I'm doing a pivot for that part, because that's really going to help with speed. So for the first, and then I'm going for the part that goes A sharp, B, C goes up. I'm going 1, 1, 4. Right, so that's the way it goes. That repeats twice, 2.5 times, and then you go down. So if we're going, right? So the main thing is totally okay to go. But what we don't want to do when we're practicing, we're going slow, we don't want to go. We don't want to do that. We want to maintain what I like to call bow discipline. We want to go the same way at the bow as when we would when we were playing the song, which when it goes in. So it's really, really short. So go. Right, it goes nice and slow that way. So this one, it says to go 76 to 90. Right now I've got it set at 84. Any recording that you listen to is going to be noticeably faster than that. Don't worry about it, right? What you just really want to spend the time on is getting the notes, breaking your practice down into small sections. So even if you've got to spend an entire 20, 30, 45 minutes on 1 or 2 measures, that's okay. You don't, if it already sounds perfect, you're not practicing, you're rehearsing. You want to spend the time, slow it down, be your own private bass teacher at that point. Slow it down, and don't be afraid to really dive into just a 2-note. You know, say you've got a huge big shift or something. Don't be afraid to just spend plenty of time on that and teach it to yourself, because that's your job, right? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go into this. So before I get into it, what am I thinking myself? I'm thinking 1, 2, here we go. And alrighty, so that's basically what it sounds like. It's really furious when we're doing. So don't be afraid to be kind of under your hand where you get control. You don't want to be, because what you're having to do is work so hard to get a sound. Instead, be nice and underhand with this one. I think you'll really enjoy it. Now, if any of you have any questions on alternative fingerings or anything like that, which there are tons. I've never been the guy that says my way is the only way to finger something. Everybody's hands are different, and that's totally cool. If you've got questions or anything, just go to the comment section, put them in. I'll be trying to check them as regularly as possible, and I'll answer any questions you guys have. Well, good luck with the audition. I hope everything's going good for you, and let me know if you need anything, and keep playing. May the force be with you.